Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I first wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone who watched, commented, and liked on my first video. A special thank you to everyone who subscribed. It means a lot to me. Now on to Mets news. Catchers and pitchers report to spring training on either February 12th or February 13th, so roughly 25 to 26 days away from now. The season is definitely closer than we think. Now, talking about spring training, the Mets just released their non-roster invites to spring training. So in this video, I would like to highlight some of those players that could have a huge impact on the upcoming season. So first, I want to start off with our pitchers. We first invited Luis Avilan, which in 2018 he had an ERA of 3.77 and 51 strikeouts in 45.1 innings. I was reading another post by an analyst, and he said this pickup can be very crucial to the Mets. It could be the substitute for Jerry Blevins, so he could be the replacement left-handed pitcher in our bullpen to complement the guys I was talking about in my first video. Unfortunately, going back to my first video, I said the Mets should invest in a guy like Adam Ottavino, but then our crosstown rivals scooped him up, so leaving him not in our plan for next season. So Luis Avilan can definitely help slide in there and take over that role as a replacement for Jerry Blevins, which would mean, we could still sign Jerry, but I don't think we are going to for this upcoming season. More pitchers, we also invited PJ Conlon. We saw him a couple times last year, up and down a little bit, so we'll see if he is able to turn around the spring training and provide for us next season. So going into our infield, we invited Peter Alonso, who is our top first baseman prospect in our minor leagues. I know there was a lot of calling for him to be called up last season. It didn't happen, but I think with a strong spring training, he may even get the first base starting job. It really just depends. We have such a crowded infield for the start of the season, with the likes of Todd Frazier probably staying in New York now. And if Peter Alonso does not get called up, or even doesn't make the roster out of spring training, I think we can see time given to Robinson Cano at first base, as well as Jed Lowrie and maybe McNeil. Not really sure about that, but I think it'll be kind of open forum between Cano and Jed Lowrie. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. An incentive to keep Peter Alonso in the minor leagues for a couple weeks is that we get another year of control out of him if we do so. We also invited Andres Gimenez, who, not right now, but I think maybe in a couple of years we might see him get more attention to him at least, and people start begging for him to get called up. So it would be pretty cool to see what he does in spring training and see how he's evolved over the past couple of years. Now going to our outfield, as I mentioned in our first video, we have Nimmo, Conforto, Lagares, and Keon Broxton manning the outfield right now. But then we also have two players that we signed this offseason just as depth purposes, those two players being Gregor Blanco and Rajay Davis. So it'll be very interesting to see how they perform during spring training, and if they do get called up to the roster, just in case either Keon Broxton or Lagares either gets injured or one or two of them are not performing up to our standards that we would like. The last guy I want to highlight on this non-roster invite list is Tim Tebow. Yes, Tim Tebow, and might be a lot of mixed reviews on him, whether people agree with the Mets move to sign him. I personally like it. He's an overall athlete, and he has persistence and puts his mind to what he wants to get done. So I'm excited to see how he produces. We know he has power. We know he can hit the long ball. It's just being consistent with his at-bats, seeing pitches better, and working deep in counts that I want to see him improve on. But other than that, that is our non-roster invites for the spring training. So we'll see who performs in camp, who makes the roster, who stays in the minors for a little longer, whether it be Peter Alonso to get that 1 air extra control, or see if Tim Tebow gets called up. Definitely one of the fan favorites. So that's it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Of course, subscribe, like, comment, and let's go Mets.